first guests are national heroes and footballing icons who led the line for Jackie's Army and put him under pressure every time they took the field. It is 35 years since they made us believe in them, believe in ourselves as a nation, and believe that anything might just be possible during that crazy Italian summer in 1990.
Demetra didn't reach the ball. Aimed at Cascarino. Won by Butcher. Now here's Sheedy. Sheedy's won it back and Sheedy shoots. This is the match that will decide if Ireland, in their very first World Cup, are to make progress into the knockout stages.
Under pressure.
That was Van Arla. And Padwood has lost it. And it's there! Niall Quinn has done it! A magnificent performance in Palermo. And it's 4-4. Timote against Bonner. Yeah. The nation holds its breath. Yes!
Giannini, Donadoni, but Curry, Schillaci. So Ireland's remarkable World Cup journey is over.
Can't believe it, but we've managed to get the band back together tonight. Yes, the Italia 1990 Irish World Cup squad are here. And to kick things off, would you please welcome Mick McCarthy, Niall Quinn, Andy Townsend and Ray Houghton. Guys, welcome to the show. We're just watching that in the studio there. We're right back there, Niall. Tell us how you managed to get the band back together. What's the reason?
Well, we were dragged back together by the owner of Cork City, who's trying to make a few quid to pump back into the academy to make young girls and boys in Cork get up the elite ladder. And it seemed a nice time to make a few phone calls. Didn't have everybody's number, of course, and some people had 2 or 3 numbers. You know, we were getting others from friends, etc.
Some people changed their numbers.
A lot of people changed their numbers. But the response from the guys was, yeah, let's do it. It's been 35 years. We've never done this. And the WhatsApp group started and the fun. It's like we're all back in our years, in our 20s and teenage years. One of them, I remember, you know, is Leeson Street still going strong, and are the nightclubs in Dublin as good as they were? So we'll find out, guys. You know,
you're going to find out tonight. Yeah. Mick, I mean, 35 years ago, getting to the World Cup for Ireland, it was like man on the moon stuff. What was it like to captain the first Irish team to get to a World Cup?
Man on the moon is right. It was great doing it. I mean, just being part of that squad, being part of that team, was amazing. And to be fair, under Jack, we'd been in '88, of course, when we were there. There's only 8 teams in the Euros when we did that. So we'd had a bit of, you know, a bit of traction, a bit of success. But getting to the World Cup was something else, you know. And well, you can see us all there. And I think everybody, it was a time of my life, I'd say.
I tell you, handsome devils, the lot of you. There you are.
And we haven't changed a bit either.
Not a bit. Not a bit. Andy, I mean, Jack was such a special character. You guys would have done anything for him on a pitch.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think one of his greatest strengths, he was, you know, a very unique character, very unique man. One of his greatest strengths was getting us guys together, wanting to be partners, Mick says, of a successful group, and making sure we were turning up every game. That was very important. Letting us enjoy it, letting us have a beer now and again, to make sure that everybody really wanted to be part of something special, you know. So he was absolutely the catalyst for everything, but we absolutely loved playing for him.
I mean, Ray, in football these days, everybody talks about a system What was Jack's system, would you say?
I think it was quite easy. It was to get the ball from the back to the front very quickly. Do not play it into midfield. You were not allowed to play it into the midfield area. Look, he had a plan in place. He thought the best way to get results for Ireland. He'd watched a lot of international football and thought that the opposition would walk the ball forward and no one would go and engage him. So what he wanted to do was actually press him. Everyone thinks pressing is a new thing, but Jack actually had a plan in place back in the late 80s for us to go and press the opposition, and it worked extremely well.
And just listening to him here, we have a wee clip of him, and it just shows you how he just treats every game exactly the same. This is things before the quarter-final.
We try and relax the lads before every game, and I think they're as relaxed for this one as they've been for any other. They've gone to bed the way they normally do. They're having a rest, and they'll get up and they'll have a cup of tea, and then we'll wander off. We'll sing the songs on the way in the bus the way we normally do, and they'll get on with the game. And games of football are games of football. I keep telling everybody, it lasts an hour and a half, and you got one ball with 11 players on each side. And if you do your job right, you know, you may get a result.
You know, Mick, you're talking about systems and different things. I mean, it got results against some brilliant teams. You played the Netherlands, who were the European champions, and got the result to get you through.
It's not seen as it now, but it was tactical genius by him. I remember going to Ellen Road to train when we first got together, and he said, what we're going to do, these teams will all play with 5-3-2, they'll have wing-backs. We're going to stick it behind the wing-backs, we're going to push up and press them. And we had the song, the record was Put Them Under Pressure, we had, for heaven's sakes. And we used to go put them under pressure. He said, you'll nick it off them, and then we've got possession, stick it in the box and we'll score. I mean, sounds simple.
Well, I mean, it does sound simple.
But it worked. But it worked, and they hated playing against us. I mean, I remember them turning up at Lansdowne Road, and, I mean, the pitch was awful as well. Everything was in our favour. But we used to turn them around, push up behind them, go and win the ball back, and we were dominant in that era. And nobody sees it as a tactical genius now, but we were playing like the rest of them were playing before Jack got the job. He changed it. 88, 8 teams there. We were in the Euros, we were in the 90 World Cup, and did a real good job of it as well.
Niall, you scored in that game against the Netherlands. I know it kind of changed your career, and it also changed what Jack called you.
Yeah. So I was in the squad 4 years by then. I'd never started a competitive game. And right up to that point, he just called me Noel. So, so it was Noel, do this, Noel, do that. But after that night, he started calling me by my proper name, Niall. So that kind of measure of how important the goal was, you know.
And then whenever the goal went in, I mean, you got the word from the sideline that was going to be enough. But there were some people that, you know, yourself and Ruud Gullit had a little chat and an agreement. Yeah,
I did. I just said, look, we're both going through an Egypt, aren't if the results stay the same, because I don't go on my holidays to Egypt now, especially. But
some people though didn't get that message on the pitch.
Well, I forgot. Was it you, Quinn?
Yeah, I was trying to get my second goal maker.
and
you know,
Ruud came across to me. He said, "You know, we've got this bit of an agreement." I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you mind telling your two centre forwards they're still knocking 7 bells out our centre halves?"
Yeah. Look, I mean, you got the results. You had the crack, Andy, as you were saying. Tell us a wee bit about the penny game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, there's lots of silly antics. You're trying to pass away all the hours of sitting around in hotels, and you get bored and you end up doing daft things back in the day.
And you played a prank on Jack.
I used to get a coin, and you've done it probably with your kids at home. If you squeeze a coin on your forehead like that and then pick it off as you do it, it really feels like it's still there. So, of course, I said to Jack, I said, right, I'll give you... You got 6 bangs on the back of your head to get this coin off. I said, if you do it, I'll give you a tenner. Right? And Jack, with his money, was always... he was always a bit careful with his... So anyway, of course, I get the coin and I push it on his head like this. And, of course, I've got it in my hand. But I'm staring at the coin. I'm staring at it. I'm going, right, go on, Jack, away you go. 1. Boom. And he starts banging his head so hard. And he got to about 10. The rest of the guys are all falling around, you know, laughing before it suddenly dawned on him that it ain't there, you know. But
you were lucky to get picked next
I was
game.
going to say, I was very lucky that I weren't sent home for that. But no, look, again, you know, we used to genuinely have a lot of fun, and he loved it, Ray, didn't he?
The thing with that,
He always made
when
it-
Andy did that, it wasn't just the players and the staff there, it was the Italian police who were looking after us. So there they are, looking at a former World Cup winner, the manager of the national team, going into the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 1990, whacking the back of his head constantly, with the players counting. We're there counting 1, 2, 3, whacking away.
The funny part, Paddy, about that was that he's banging his head, and of course to them, for no reason at all. Like, there's nothing there, you know. So,
And he's got his hand out trying to catch the coin, and he's going out, and there's nothing there.
Well, he would, wouldn't he, want to catch
Yeah,
it?
he would,
I think
he
so.
would.
Talk to us about the training regime. How important was Gibney's and Malahide to the training regime?
I can remember being one of the younger players, and we had a curfew till about 11 on the Sunday, and Gibney's was the choice of place. And I was at 11:15 getting very anxious. You know, I was only in the squad, didn't want to upset anyone, and the lads went, "Oh, it's okay, the last thing you want to do is go home like early and maybe a bit late. He'll be waiting up. If you stay out real late, he won't be waiting up." And I was going, "Oh, right, okay, so what time will we go?" "Oh, we'll go down to Tamango's, we'll do a bit of a thing."
Where the gang goes.
Where the gang goes. So 2 or 3 o'clock would be grand. And I was going,
The lads thought it was 11 a.m.
No, but he kind of would expect you then to work really hard the next day, though. You know, like, he'd let you go out, but if you were seen straggling the next day, you mightn't be picked for the next lot. You know, he insisted that you work through whatever fun he gave us, and I think we all respected that, didn't we? And worked hard.
So it was kind of work hard and play hard, Mick. We have a particularly tough session here with some footage of a tough session from the tournament here in Italy. This is what formation are you guys playing here? There you go, four at the back. I mean, this actually went out on the news here, and nobody batted an eyelid. It's like football's completely changed.
I was playing laid back.
It's so good. Look, I know the rest of the team are they're out the back on their loungers, just getting the sun cream on. They're going to be out with us very, very soon. But in the meantime, would you please give it up for Mick, Niall, Andy and Ray?